a record.
And this won't even seem like a game away from home for Everett Stevens of Purdue, because he's from right here in Evanston.
Well, Everett Stevens is quite a basketball player. He's a guy that is going to try to come back home tonight. And he played a great high school career here at Evanston High School, the home of the Wildcats. He was outstanding in every way, and he can steal that ball. He's probably the best point guard in the Big Ten.
Well, senior going out for Northwestern, one of three that they have is Sean Morris, and what a great year he's had.
Sean Morris has had a great season, and he still is the leader in the Big Ten as far as floor burns are concerned, right?
No doubt about that. He's a very special performer, and boy, he's a good shooter too, Bill.
He certainly is, and Bill Foster's going to hate to see him leave. And he played a very good game the last game that Northwestern played against Iowa. He was in there rebounding and shooting. So he's coming off a good game, and that's exactly what they need. They need a good game from Sean Morris.
No doubt about that. We'll be back to set the starting lineups for you when we return here to Evanston in just a minute.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. At forward for Purdue, a 6'7" senior from Toledo, Ohio, number 33, Todd Mitchell. For the Wildcats at forward, a 6'9" senior from Schererville, Indiana, number 23, Bo Kutes. At the other forward for Purdue, a 6'8" junior from Decatur, Indiana, number 30, Chip Jones. And for the Wildcats at forward, a 6'5" sophomore from Weston, Connecticut, number 44, Don Polite. For Purdue at center, a 6'9" junior from Chicago, Illinois, number 35, Melvin McCann. And for the Wildcats at center, a 6'9" senior from Altoona, Iowa, number 25, Sean Morris. At guard for Purdue, a 6'4" senior from Anderson, Indiana, number 23, Troy Lewis. And at guard for the Wildcats, a 6'3" junior from Danville, Illinois, number 21, Phil Stiles. At point guard for Purdue, a 6'2" senior from Evanston, Illinois, number 21, Everett Stevens. And for the Wildcats at point guard, a 6'3" junior from Warsaw, Indiana, number 43, Jeff Gross.
There you have it. Those are the starting lineups. Purdue University is coached by Gene Cady. He is a class of 58 Kansas State grad, former assistant at Arkansas, former coach at Western Kentucky, former Big Ten Coach of the Year in 1984. A very fine coach. Northwestern coached by Bill Foster, class of 54, Elizabethtown State. He'll be going after victory number 428 in his career this evening. He's been to the NCAA finals, also an outstanding basketball coach. And this, what will be the 122nd meeting. It'll be officiated tonight by the referee, Phil Robinson. The umpires are Eric Harmon and Burl Sell. And so we are ready for basketball here tonight, Bill. And as we take a look at the matchups and the way these two teams are going to size up, Purdue is not dominating from a size standpoint, but Mitchell, Jones, and McCants, that'll be plenty for Kukas, Polite, and Morris as a unit to handle up front.
And the big name in there is Bo Kukas. Bo Kukas is getting a starting assignment tonight. He was relegated to the bench. He didn't like it too well. He wanted to be a starter. That's where he was when he was at Schererville, Indiana. And he's from Indiana high school, so it's more or less a motivational move on the part of Bill Foster to put Kukas in there, and hoping that he'll come through and give them a little bit more rebounding strength.
They say in Indiana that shooting is a common element in Indiana basketball at all levels, and certainly it shows for Purdue here tonight as they come in shooting over 53% as a team. In three-point range, they're shooting 45, so they are an outstanding shooting team. From the foul line, though, they're not quite as solid. They have had a little bit of problem from the foul line, and Northwestern hoping to capitalize if they can on that. Purdue with a big lead in the series. And Northwestern, their last win over Purdue came back in the 1983 season, 66-55. That was when they were playing at Alumni Hall while this building was being renovated. Interesting to note as they come out on the floor, Bill, there are 4 starters from the state of Indiana, 3 from the state of Illinois out of the 10 on the floor.
Well, that shows you that basketball is played well here in the Midwest.
Yeah, no doubt about that, especially in these 2 states that are cousins.
Should mention the McCants is from Mount Carmel High School, and I guess he says his greatest thrill was playing on that '85 state championship team.
Well, here we go. McCants 6'9", and Morris 6'9". The way McCants is going, and boy, the Boilers are going, they may be in another championship if they keep it up. But Northwestern would like to derail those hopes here tonight. And they're starting Bo Kukas, and they're going to bring Brian Schwabe off the bench here tonight. The tip is in the air. Morris has it. Northwestern will attack first. They're in the light-colored uniforms, and they look at a Purdue man-to-man defense immediately as the Wildcats go to work. Morris out front to Stiles. He is covered by Troy Lewis. Everett Stevens is on Gross. Morris, he's covered by McCants, so that's a little bit uncertain territory for McCants out that far from the basket. He will be dragged out a lot. Kukas. He's covered by Kip Jones to the baseline, goes up over him and got the foul on Kip Jones, the junior from Belmont High School in Decatur, Indiana, who's been suffering from an ankle injury, picked up the foul.
So it's according to what Bill Foster wants to do here at the start. He puts Kukas in to get some action going, and Kukas does that right off the bat by drawing this personal foul. So Northwestern goes to the line first, and maybe they can get on the board first.
So the Wildcats, and when they do start well, that's a real key for Northwestern. We mentioned that on some previous telecasts, Bill.
Well, the problem with Northwestern is they've been running out of gas. They have not played the full 40 minutes of basketball, and they'll take teams right down to the 36th minute in some games, and right at the end they just run out. They just don't have the manpower.
Kukas, and Northwestern is on the board at 1-0. We are just underway. We're half a minute over. We'd like to welcome the viewers from WLFI Television Channel 18 in Lafayette to our telecast here tonight, joining along with our Sports Vision viewers. Kukas again, and he's there with both of them. And Northwestern a 2-0 lead. Wildcats press. McCants gets it across as Purdue slices right through it. And Lewis and Stevens will go to work now in that strong guard line that Purdue has. Stevens back out front. Goes over to Mitchell. Kip Jones. Double team. Bounces through it. Lewis. Mitchell thought about a shot, tried to blast it in for McCants. The ball stolen away in style. Comes up with it for the Wildcats. Brings a roar of approval from a highly partisan Northwestern crowd here in Evanston tonight, although we should say there is a good Purdue representation here, and we'll hear from them, I'm sure, before the night is over. Morris, DeGrosse, again against man-to-man pressure. They've already chewed 20 seconds off of the shot clock. They're just really getting into their offense. To Stiles, they got the back door open, Bill.
They certainly did, and they were very successful with a backdoor play the first time they played Purdue, and they want to go for that back door, and that was perfect.
Kip Jones sliced in and drops a little 8-footer. Kip Jones and Purdue is on the board. It took the Boilermakers a minute and a half to score their first field goal here tonight. Stiles across the timeline, brings it in. He'll take the shot. Boy, and Northwestern is off and running. Stiles with 4. And the Wildcats leading 6-2.
Phil Stiles, a very exciting ball player, and if he's on, they're dangerous.
Mitchell overfires. McCants couldn't get the rebound, but Mitchell got the loose change and put it up and in.
That's what they want to stop. They want to stop McCants getting in underneath the basket like that. They want to stop that inside game. They also want to keep Purdue out of the up-tempo game if they possibly can.
Kukas with Mitchell on him, brings it across, drops it for Jeff Gross, and Northwestern will start their attack. Look at how much Purdue presses on the perimeter, how hard they get out. They have good athletes. They're very fundamentally sound defensively. They put pressure on you just about everywhere on the floor.
They're very physical on defense.
Polite for the layup. He got the baseline. Don Polite with his first 2. He took the baseline, and what a strong drive. Now we have a whistle. Contact under there. Kukas. He and McCants got tangled up. McCants weighs 240, Bill. He's a real load down there.
All right, now watch this play by Don Polite. When this guy is hot, he's good. He drives for the basket. No opposition at all. They just let him go right in there.
And he is coming off a career-high game against Iowa, so he has a lot of confidence. You see the foul just a moment ago as Kukas trying to hold off McCants. From the baseline, up and in, a nice jump shot there by Troy Lewis, and we'll see plenty of those.
Nothing seems to rattle this Purdue basketball team, Bill. Just like right now, Northwestern's off to a great start, but Purdue is staying right in there. They're not rattled. They're playing their game.
Well, they're used to the pressure.
A veteran ball club.
They are indeed. Kukas to the baseline. Nice move. Lost the ball going up. Polite saved it in the corner. Northwestern gets another chance. Here's Morris. Thought about a shot, and then McCants came up on him when he faked to shoot from three-point range. And Morris does have three-point range. Gross, they're trying to post Styles on Lewis downstairs. Morris comes up firing. Front rimmed on the shot. Came out to Kip Jones. Lewis ahead. The lob! Missing the slam was Mitchell, and boy, did he go up there. Bill Foster wanted hanging on the rim.
Well, I thought we were going to lose the backboard there for a minute. That whole thing just shuddered, the brace and everything. I thought we were going to have to take time out for repairs.
Kukas for Northwestern on the attack. The Wildcats lead it by 2. Boy, that Mitchell obviously very dangerous on the lob. And on a fast break, you can see where they can be very explosive. Styles, ball was stripped away by Lewis, and Gross stole it right back for Northwestern. He'll take the shot. Listen to these fans. Northwestern 10-6 over Purdue. And boy, the Wildcats have about as good of a cheering section as we've seen here all year.
Well, there's a full house here, and the zoo crew is here. You've heard of the zoo crew, a bunch of students that come into this place, and they like to be called the zoo crew.
Kip Jones had a shot blocked. I think Polite was the one who blocked it. Polite or Kukas. Northwestern comes back with Gross on the attack. The fans are standing in that end zone.
Gene Cady already looks unhappy across the way.
Well, his team is in the hole by 4 here early. A substitute, Big Steve Scheffler, is going to come off the bench for Purdue. He's 6'9", 245 pounds, and officials timeout coming up. But take a look at this block shot, as we'll just see a beautiful effort here by Kukas and Polite.
But listen, Purdue, the Boilermakers just seem to go in for that basket.
We'll pause. 15:26 remaining first half. It's Northwestern by 4.
Sports in Chicago. There's nothing quite like it anyplace else.
You can feel it. Chicago, oh Chicago, feel it all over Chicago's mind.
The Bears aren't the only game in town, but when it comes to complete sports coverage, we are.
Chicago, oh Chicago, take a look inside the new Sun-Times.
For home delivery, call 321-2800.
Bill Hazen back with Bill Frank here from Welsh-Ryan Arena as the two teams come back out onto the floor. And how about that Wildcat shooting, Bill? Incredible.
And 80% so far. And Northwestern has Purdue playing exactly the game that the Wildcats want them to play. So, and the shooting percentage is 80% for Northwestern. Purdue 50%, which isn't bad. So far, nobody's taken any three-pointers, and both teams like to shoot them.
In the forecourt, Kukas now. Northwestern with the ball. It's covered by McCants. They've brought Scheffler into the lineup, wearing number 55. Steve Scheffler, big, strong young man at 6'9". He's from Michigan. Polite comes up firing at the foul line. Shot was blocked in the air. Stevens blocked it. He leads the team in block shots. And
he just barely got his hand in there. Just sort of flipped it with his fingertips.
To Jeff Gross. We're having a little all right, we got our microphone back, and Gross will bring it into the forecourt. Here's Polite. Kukas. Styles. Morris on the wing. Scheffler tries to close on him. That's a big guy to shoot over. Scheffler is a big wingspan, among other things. Kukas to the baseline, drives all the way in for the hoop. Kukas for 4. And Northwestern with its largest lead of the game at 6.
And what a hunch for Bill Foster to start Bo Kukas.
Northwestern with a trapping 2-3 zone here. They're trying to put some pressure on the wings. McCants not a threat to shoot out there. Cross courts it to Mitchell. They have to get him going. Troy Lewis for three. Didn't get it. And look at McCants work hard and got the ball away. Ball stolen. It's a breakout for Polite. Driving in. Got the hoop. Don Polite with 4, and Northwestern leads it by 8.
You may recall in their first meeting, Bill, Troy Lewis threw a lot of three-pointers at Northwestern in the first half, something like 4 of them in the first half as Purdue got off to that start.
Purdue is having a tough time, a turnover, and Gene Cady brings one of his players off the bench ready to come in, and I have a feeling that's Tony Jones, their top sub off the bench, who Gene Cady calls the best sixth man in the country.
And here we're going to take another look at the steal. Coming in, Jeff Gross picking it up and getting it down to Polite. What a play by Jeff Gross.
Boy, Purdue with 4 turnovers already, Bill, and Northwestern has committed only 1. Kukas. Well, Purdue, I don't know. I'm sure they're not bothered by the crowd, but boy, it is loud in here tonight, as I'm sure everybody at home can hear.
Now, this is the kind of game, Bill, that Purdue might have just a little bit of a letdown. You know, Michigan got beat this afternoon, and so that gives Purdue a little bit of breathing space. And Purdue has come off a couple of tough games, so maybe they're looking ahead. You never know. This could be a letdown game for Gene Cady.
Kukas, he's been able to get the baseline. Stiles for 3. Missed a shot, went flying. Foul over the back. Kukas trying to get the rebound over Todd Mitchell. And Kukas picks up personal foul number 2. He has 2 quick ones and both team fouls for Northwestern.
All right, here's the foul once again as Bo Kukas draws it. And, of course, he's in there in that position in place of Brian Schwabe because Schwabe was prone to get fouls in that spot. Now Kukas is getting the fouls in that spot.
They've had trouble with that power forward spot all year. They need to get some consistent play, whereas Purdue, of course, has gotten outstanding play out of that position all season long. Here's Stevens. The ball bounced away. Kukas was fouled as he tried to pass out of it by Tony Jones. That's his first. Team's second. The foul coming with 12:50 in the scoreboard clock, first half. Common foul, and it'll be given out of bounds to the Wildcats. Here it is.
Here again, we take a look at this last foul. Bounced off the chest of the referee. Did you notice that, Bill?
Yeah. Polite swapped at it, and it hit the official. I think that was Eric Harmon.
Hit him right in the chest.
Inbounds.
I guess he gets an assist on that, right?
Well, just for the record, the official is considered part of the playing floor, as you well know.
He was so mad he called a foul.
That's the breaks of the game. Gross comes up firing. Didn't get it. The product of Warsaw High School got the rebound, and Northwestern will reload it. Brian Schwabe waiting to come in for Northwestern. Wildcats haven't made a substitute in 7.5 minutes of basketball. Morris. Gross. Kukas are trying to post him down low. The boy Purdue has it pretty well packed in down there. Stiles to the high post to Polite. 22 seconds, plenty of time to shoot. And the Wildcats, of course, will take their time. It's a different approaches to the game, and each dictated by the talent that they have. Morris, that's a three-pointer. John Morris for 3. And Northwestern has built an 11-point lead.
Well, I'm sure that Purdue was not expecting this kind of a start at all.
And the Boilers not shooting well. They're turning the ball over here in the early moments, and they're paying for it. Mitchell steps into the opening and shoots it and hits it. Todd Mitchell, a confident shooter, team's second leading scorer and leading rebounder on this team. And you know that he'll get it going before the night is over. He's just too good of a player, and so are several other of the key performers like Lewis and McCants. Scheffler picked up the foul as Morris took him to the baseline. I'll tell you what, Bill, Northwestern's getting some openings on the baseline, and they've been able to drive there early.
Gene Cady likes to bring Steve Scheffler in these spots because Scheffler's a good man off the bench, but there he got a little bit mixed up with Sean Morris. Playing Sean Morris very tight.
Timeout taken at 11:24 remaining here in the first half of play. It's the Wildcats by 9. This copyrighted telecast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our viewing audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of Northwestern University and Sports Vision is strictly prohibited. Bill Hazen back with Bill Frink. And again, we welcome the viewers of WLFI Channel 18 television in Lafayette viewing with us here this evening and enjoying the Cats and the Boilers.
You may be a little bit nervous down around Lafayette right now because Northwestern's playing a good basketball game. Bill Foster said you must rebound, you must improve offensively. That's what they've been doing.
Yep. Purdue certainly is having the challenge taken to him early. Schwabe is in the ball game now for Northwestern. As they're changed, he's coming off the bench. He replaces Bo Kukas, so it's Schwabe, Morris, and Polite up front for the Wildcats right now. They try to set up Gross on a dive down into the stack. Polite. They can back out front. Gross looking to post Polite. Styles will work the other side. They've got both big players on that side. Morris pops out. 8 seconds to shoot. He fires it. Didn't get it. Polite with a rebound underneath Schwabe. There was a ball in there. Schwabe was trying to put the ball back up.
Well, Schwabe right here playing a whale of a ball game, coming in right off the bench, and he fights for the basketball. He grabs it right there, sort of loses control of it, but Purdue comes in and knocks it out.
Common foul out of bounds. Mitchell, Todd Mitchell picked up the foul. His first and the team's fourth. 10:38 remaining first half. And Northwestern on top 17-8 to the near side to Gross. Purdue came in with a #2 ranking in the country here tonight. Schwabe lost the handle on that one. It's out of bounds, and Purdue has the ball back, and they will go to work on a 9-point deficit. Here come the Boilers. That's why Northwestern is out in front. Purdue has been in a situation where they have had a lot of turnovers, and Northwestern has benefited from that. Down low, Scheffler powers it up with a left hand and in. Scheffler with his first two. Purdue went right to work, and they got it down there deep in the gut.
Steve Scheffler, that's exactly what Katie likes to have him do. He can come in. He's probably one of the more outstanding #6 men in the Big Ten.
Polite, he traveled with the ball. Wildcats commit a turnover, and the ball goes over. So Purdue has it back. And it'll be tossed in by Tony Jones. You look at Don Polite, who hitched as he was starting to make his move. Stevens will bring it up in a point guard setup, looking at a 1-2-2 zone. Shifts toward Lewis's side. He has the ball. Stevens. Tony Jones thought about a shot. 2 Joneses on this team. The lob, and Mitchell put it away. Todd Mitchell with 6. Boy, that was rammed down with authority.
Beautiful play by Purdue, and they just very patiently set it up.
Ryan Schwabe in the forecourt. Mitchell closes on him. Styles. Got the ball out front to Gross. Gross looking. They'll work it around Styles. Polite popped high into 3-point range. He goes to get it. Everything's coming hard. Purdue putting that good defense on you. It's very hard to get an opening in there. Northwestern, a patient team. They will pass the ball until they get a man open. Schwabe, 10 to shoot. Down low to Morris, 8 to shoot. Good head fake. No basket. The contact was as he was going up before he went into shooting motion. That would have been one of the most amazing shots of the year had he put it in, but Phil Robinson said no.
Watch now as that ball bounces off the top of the backboard. There, Morris gets it, working really hard. Finally, head fakes a couple of times, goes up. Now, we don't see the ball, but it bounced on top of the backboard for a while and then came down. Nice carom shot, but it didn't count.
It looked like a shooting motion. That's the one I've had problems with all year, is what constitutes a shot. That really looked like a shot and could well have been ruled a foul in the act of shooting in a 3-point play. Kukas rolling in, didn't get it. Purdue, McCants fighting in there, gets the rebound, and the Boilers have the ball right back. Troy Lewis, he can put it up from anywhere. Stevens is open, fires, overshot it, and Morris claims it for the Wildcats.
I bet Evan Stevens hasn't missed many shots like that.
No, well, of course, he's playing in front of the home crowd, really, for him, and a lot of his family and friends are here. Played just a few blocks away from here at Township High School in Evanston. Jeff Gross. He'll look for the entry pass. Styles trying to post low. Lewis is on him. They get it to Polite on the baseline. Passed off to Kukas. Ball's loose. Styles recovered. No change of possession. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Styles, a 3-pointer. 7 points for Stiles. He's the leading three-pointer shooter that Northwestern has.
That was great continuity by Northwestern. Several times they almost lost that basketball, but they just stayed with it, and finally Stiles got the clutch shot.
Lead is back up to 8. Troy Lewis and Stevens in the backcourt for Purdue. Stevens, look, they got Mitchell on the baseline, but not in a good position. They tossed it to him. He drives in there. Foul called on Morris. You could almost see the ball was going to go over that way, Bill, because he was open in the seam. Morris with his first, team's third. This will be a common foul.
Now we're going to take a look at it. Sean Morris comes in there and quite a bit of body contact.
And a timeout called. Officials timeout at 7:34 remaining first half, and the Wildcats continue to hold an 8-point lead at 20-12. Basketball, we have a bucket full of it for you. The Chicago Bulls in action on Sports Vision, the live action as they travel to Philadelphia tomorrow to take on Charles Barkley and the 76ers. Tip-off 6:30 right here on Sports Vision. Chicago's winners on cable. And right now, Bill Hazen back with Bill Frink, and we have a winning basketball game, a tight game between Northwestern and Purdue.
Well, Northwestern has Purdue not playing their type of basketball tonight, and it's showing.
They go to McCants inside the painted area. Purdue has not gone inside very much. That was one time they did get the ball in there deep and did not convert it. Northwestern into a double team goes Gross, fights through it, a backdoor Kukas, and Northwestern broke the trapping pressure wide open. Kukas with 6. Boy, did they break that perfectly.
Well, Bo Kukas coming back off the bench. He sat down for a few minutes, and Schwabe couldn't handle it. Kukas comes back in, and he's taken right off where he started as a starter in this game.
Everett Stevens inside the paint, double clutched on the shot, didn't get it. Scheffler tipped it out, or excuse me, Kip Jones tipped it out, and Northwestern got the ball back. They lead it by 10 and are going for more. Morris way out 3-point range to Kukas, and the thing's inverted a little bit. Stiles is down near the baseline here. One thing about Northwestern, their big players can play out front, as we're seeing right here.
Sometimes they play with nobody underneath.
Yeah, they invert it. Will invert the attack. Stiles for 3. He hits another one. Stiles is on fire.
Even Phil couldn't believe that.
Northwestern's lead is 13 points. Tony Jones, Lewis for 3. Didn't get it. Kip Jones with the rebound, tips it out. And Purdue will have another crack at it. Stevens. Lewis driving. He lost the ball. Kip Jones, foul. He got hit.
I think he got hit by Phil Stiles.
Stiles raked him right across the forehead.
All right, we'll look at it again. Now watch Phil Stiles. Here's the basketball. They're fighting for it. A lot of rugged play in there. And Phil comes in. He's off balance and really comes right down and gets a personal foul. After he got airborne, he couldn't stop.
Yeah, and he did the right thing, too. The old saying goes, if you're going to put a guy on the line, really hammer him. Make him earn his foul shots from the line. Don't let him go up and get a 3-point play on you. And that's what happened here. So Kip Jones to the foul line. Kip has had all kinds of problems shooting from the foul line this year. Purdue fans certainly need no introduction to this. And what do you know? He drops one in there right away. He has 3. He's shooting under 40% on the year from the foul line. Been hampered in recent games by that ankle injury.
I guess you can say if Purdue has any weaknesses, it's at the foul line, but same token, they can kill you from there, too.
Well, Jones just dropped in 2 of them. That's a bonus for the Boilers, and Gross will bring it across the timeline. Purdue trails by 11. Northwestern with the ball in the lead. Gross. They'll run the attack. Kukas out front.
Once again, everybody's outside.
Yeah.
Everybody's out front.
Here's Polite, Kukas, and Morris all outside the 3-point line right now. Kukas, Morris steps out there, trying to pull Purdue out to see if they can open up something in the back. This is what they did so well against Indiana and DePaul. Kukas dribbles in, nobody picked him up. Hit the back rim, rebound came loose, and it's claimed by Troy Lewis.
That's the gamble you take when you play that. If you miss the shot, they get the rebound.
Underneath McCants, and he got it. Kukas went flying. McCants just put his shoulder down, put it up and scored, and McCants has his first 2 of the ball game. And Purdue cuts the lead to single digits at 9. And the pressure as Gene Kitty has has his instructions. A baseball pass to Stiles, tipped away by McCants. The safety valve man out of bounds, and Northwestern will have it. This is something they were working on in practice, Bill. I saw yesterday. They worked a lot on their the way they were attacking the full court press.
You know, I think I've seen Phil Stiles so animated as he is tonight.
Yeah. Well, Stiles has already done a great night's work. He's already contributed 10 points in under 15 minutes of basketball.
They need a leader out there in that spot, and he's really giving it to them.
He's doing a great job, and that takes pressure off of Gross. Starts to balance things out a little bit. Here's Polite. Out steps Kukas. And Kip Jones followed him out. Then it went a three-pointer on the way, and Gross knocks it down. And Northwestern is shooting the lights out from three-point range. Lead is back up to 12. Purdue.
Northwestern has 4 out of 5 three-point shots.
Can't do any better than that. As a team, they don't shoot nearly that. McCants, he missed it from point-blank range. And Stiles got the rebound. Gross, he's going for another one. Didn't get it, and McCants has the rebound for Purdue.
I want to tell you, Bill, this is one whale of a basketball game. Talk about entertainment.
Mitchell with a rim job for 8. Mitchell got open on the baseline, and that cuts it to 10. And you're right, there's a great atmosphere in here tonight. And Northwestern playing the role of the spoiler, the David against the Goliath, if you will, in terms of their basketball standings anyway in the conference. They've already beaten Indiana this year, and DePaul and Loyola, a pretty good basketball team.
It shows you the power of the Big Ten. Number 1 playing the last place team.
Stiles tried to put it up. He was fouled before he went up for the shot. And Todd Mitchell was down there, and I think he will pick it up. Let's go look at Todd. That's his second personal foul, and the team's 6th. That's the last one that Purdue can give away now before going into the bonus. Timeout at 3:44 remaining first half. It's the Wildcats 28 and the Boilermakers 18. Shooting can really help you. What a difference the three-pointer has made in college basketball, and boy, it's really helped Northwestern tonight, Bill.
Well, Bill Foster certainly must have learned something from that first Purdue game, because Purdue threw 4 three-pointers at him in that first game and helped to build up a halftime lead, and it's just the reverse in this ball game.
Northwestern has Schwabe in the lineup now. Otherwise, the lineup's the same as before. Gross. Morris at the high post. They tried that little backdoor cut.
Well, Purdue's put the stops on that for right at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. Stiles was running the baseline there. You see Stiles very active. Boy, he's running all over the place. Polite. Stiles up top. Gross. Good head fake. Stevens did not go for it, though. What an athlete this Everett Stevens is. McCants stole the ball on the baseline. Purdue has it back. Trailing by 10. The Boilermakers have not led in this ball game. They've been behind from the opening tip. Here's Tony Jones. You talk about great athletes. This young man is very special. He even holds a pilot's license. They have a great aeronautics program down at Purdue.
Rebounds are all even, Bill. Nine rebounds for both sides.
McCants. Out front it goes. Stevens. Everett Stevens has a two-pointer just inside the three-point line. And Stevens with his first two. He is the last Purdue starter to score, and Northwestern sees its lead trimmed to 8 points. Gross, covered by Stevens. Northwestern's been having to play without a point guard since the 4th game of the year. Schwabe comes up firing. Didn't get it. Todd Mitchell there to claim the boards. Now Purdue starting to get on that glass pretty good.
Well, Purdue playing a very physical game, and if they start rebounding, they are really going to get back into this contest.
2:10 remaining first half. Tony Jones, Kukas on the bench, ready to come in as he's gone over to the scorer's table.
He's wearing himself out, coming in and out.
You're right. Kip Jones inside. Foul. Schwabe took it as he fouled McCants, and that will put McCants on the foul line. And for Schwabe, that's personal foul number 1.
I think Bill Foster wanted Schwabe out of there before he committed that foul. I know he didn't want Schwabe to get it. And here you see how Schwabe accumulates a foul before he can get out. Now Kukas has come in. Right there's the foul by Brian Schwabe put that arm in. There you see now Bill Foster talking a little bit to Schwabe. That's what Bill does. He talks to the team and to the players they come off.
Well, they've ruled that not to be a shot. That's the second time we've seen this. I can't believe that wasn't a shot at the basket. He went right up, tried to go up strong with it. I guess unless you're just not right in front of it shooting at it. I have asked many officials, and I've not found one yet that can clarify that for me. I thought that was a foul on the act of shooting. He was going up with it. We had the same situation earlier in the ballgame.
Well, I have to agree with you, Bill, 100% on that.
Stevens inside McCants, and he drops it in. McCants with 4. And it's a 28-22 ball game at Purdue. Slowly but surely, they've cut Northwestern's lead in half.
Northwestern wants to score this time down because they want to go into the locker room with a nice spread.
Polite is open, and he's there with it. Don Polite, he has 6. Northwestern again with good, solid ball movement. Minute 13 and a half, the lob for Mitchell. And he was undercut. Kukas was there. He got tangled up with Kukas, and Kukas gets the foul. That is number 3 on Kukas.
A very costly foul for Northwestern. Third personal foul for Bo Kukas, and he went up for it. He tried to prevent that lob, but there was a lot of contact there, and the official ruled that he committed the foul.
And a common foul. Each team with 16 fouls. We're at a minute 10 remaining in the half. Lewis will toss it in. They get it inside to Mitchell. Oh, what a leaper he is. Mitchell with 10. That's why he's an All-American candidate. He does everything. 30-24 Northwestern. Here's Jeff Gross. The Wildcats still lead. They've never trailed in this game. Morris on the medium post. Down low to Schwabe. Plenty of time between the clocks. Morris fires it and hits it. That's a home run ball. Sean Morris has 6 on 2 home runs. And it's a 9-point Northwestern lead. Purdue can hope for the last shot. Ball nearly tipped away. Tip to the sideline, out of bounds. Purdue has it. And Sean Morris adds to his floor burn total that you alluded to earlier in the game, Bill.
A typical Sean Morris execution. He's got to do that 3 or 4 times.
30 seconds on the scoreboard clock. They can run it all the way out and hold for a shot.
Right, here we're going to see the play again. And the official again almost got the ball. It's been a bad night for the official. Now watch Sean Morris. See, Polite gets out of his way and says, Sean, you do it.
Phil Robinson showed good quickness there, didn't he? He wanted to get out of the way. How about this? Purdue with 18 of their points coming in the paint. Northwestern with only 8. You see the clock inserted to your screen. That's the game clock. The shot clock has been turned off for the first half. 33-24 the score. Purdue will hold for a shot. Jones and Lewis and Stevens are running with 3 perimeter players here. McCants and Kip Jones. Everett Stevens, good head fake. 4 seconds. Not much time. Lewis, the half is over. I don't know if Purdue got the shot they wanted there or not, but they'll have to live with it as they go to the locker room, trailing by 9, and Northwestern has really cast the gauntlet down here.
I think they wanted Stevens to take that shot. He got the ball, started to go along the baseline, and Bill, they just stopped him defensively.
And so our first half is over. 33-24 Northwestern. When we come back, Bill Frank will be visiting with Northwestern coach Bill Foster, and then I'll have Gene Katie alongside. You'll meet the 2 head coaches for tonight's game. When we return at half, it's the Wildcats 33, Purdue 24.
Talk a little bit about some of your
team that's going to let down. I mean, they play so hard, and they have a great second and third effort, and I think now they're getting more off their bench. They're very proud, and boy, they come after you. They really do. Defensively, they just distort whatever you want to do.
Okay, Bill, go get him in the second half. Bill Foster, the head basketball coach of the Northwestern Wildcats, and Bill Hazen will be back with the head coach.
Time to visit with Purdue University basketball coach Gene Katie, who is right now in the middle of what has to be a glorious season, a wonderful season for the Boilermakers. Coach, first of all, I've talked with a lot of coaches about your team, and the one thing that impresses them the most is the number of ways that you can attack, the number of things you can do tremendously. Let's talk a little bit about the balance that your team has this year.
Well, we've had 5 or 6 different players as our leading scorer this year, and that's always nice to have, and I imagine that's because they're older and they're experienced and they understand the system. And then the same way in rebounding, we've had about 7 different guys that have been our leading rebounder. So because of those things, we are able to maybe counteract some of these defense when they may be specialized.
I know you keep a very close eye defensively. Your concept, your whole approach has a particular emphasis on defense. And how is this team shaping up defensively for you?
Well, we've put a lot of emphasis on the last 2 weeks. We worked very hard on the fundamentals, and I think that because of that, we've improved somewhat. The first 5 to 8 minutes against Illinois the other day, I thought we were about as good as we've been all year. Unfortunately, we got in foul trouble. When we start subbing, and that kind of weakens it.
Gene, what about your rebounding? I know you'd like to get more out of your big players up front, but like with everything else, this team, as the fans know, it's been distributed and spread around so much.
Well, that's been one of our weaknesses. We haven't out-rebounded many people in the Big Ten, but fortunately, we've got a lot more free throws than other people. That's kind of counteracted that.
Let's talk a little bit about the overall Big Ten race. You guys are on the top of it. How does it prepare you for NCAA tournament play? Because that's obvious that's where you're headed eventually.
Well, I'm not much of an authority on that. Unfortunately, we haven't gone very far in NCAA. You would think that as tough as the Big Ten is, it would prepare you for the NCAA. It has some of the Big Ten teams over the 8 years I've been here, but we haven't seemed to be able to take advantage of that. So hopefully this year it will.
You play basketball, one of the hotbeds of basketball anywhere in the country, of course, in the great state of Indiana. You have coached elsewhere. What's it like to coach at the college level in Indiana in comparison to places like Western Kentucky and, of course, in Kansas as you did junior college?
Well, every place I've coached, they've had great tradition. Hutch had great tradition because they had the national tournament there. And then at Arkansas, we got it going there pretty good, as you know. And then at Western Kentucky, they have great tradition. So every place I've been pretty lucky to have that tradition. That's hard to establish. But in Indiana, it's a great privilege because there's so much excitement.
All right, Coach, thank you for the time. Continued success to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Coach Gene Cady. We're going to be coming back. Bill and I will be reviewing the first half statistics and highlights when we return here floorside in Evanston. Let's take a look at the scoring now for Purdue. As the score at half is 33-24. The Purdue Boilermakers were paced in scoring by Mitchell with a total of 10, all on 2-point field goals. McCants and Jones. You can see how it drops off, however, after that. Purdue has really not got the balanced scoring. Everett Stevens, for example, only a field goal. Northwestern, Stiles in double figures already with 10, and then you have 3 players with 6, Gross with 5. And that has been a very, very solid performance. Polite, I think, has had an outstanding first half, and so has Stiles. And so Northwestern, really, with a relatively not that well-known, young basketball team, doesn't have that much time playing together. Bill, they've played magnificently.
Well, they certainly have, and they've been going up against a very veteran Purdue team. But I also like some of these other stats that we have, like Northwestern is shooting 59% in field goals. Purdue is shooting 50%, and then, of course, the three-point shooting. You can't deny that hasn't kept Northwestern. They have 5 out of 7, while Purdue has 0 as far as three-point shots are concerned, and they don't shoot blanks like that very often from long range.
No, you're right. Purdue, you expect to come out and shoot very well. They're a 45% shooting team from three-point range on the year, so we know that they have solid shooters out there. Question is, can Northwestern keep Purdue off of its game for another 20 minutes? And that's what we're really at right now.
You know, I think the key is going to be Bo Kukas and Brian Schwabe. For some reason, Northwestern is playing better with Bo Kukas in there. But Bo Kukas is the only player that's in foul trouble. He has 3 personal fouls. So they got a little problem right there. And Northwestern just has to keep playing their game, and they can give Purdue a lot of trouble.
Well, Purdue certainly has shown that they have some athletes out there. Todd Mitchell was big in the trenches, and he showed his ability to leap. These alley-oop plays were spectacular. Here's one right here.
There's a beautiful shot of him in action. Boy, great camera work as he goes in for that jam.
Well, did a nice solid job, and that certainly helped Purdue's cause. But Purdue likes to get into that game a little bit. It seems as if they've had trouble doing it, Bill. They've tried to press, and Northwestern has not cracked under any of the pressure that Purdue has brought to bear.
I find one statistic on the first half rather interesting. The Northwestern has only grabbed off, they've grabbed off, let's see, 9 rebounds. So the rebounding is pretty even, but it seemed to me that Northwestern was in there a little bit more times than that. But the rebounding is fairly even, although Purdue is leading them by 10-9. And now we got some of Phil Stiles coming up, right?
Yes, sir. We'll take a look at him. Phil had an outstanding half with 10 points. And you'll see how he got him right here. He did it inside and outside. That's a backdoor cut, Bill.
It's a beautiful play, and in that first half, as I say, I've never seen Phil Stiles so animated, and they've been looking for leadership out there, and I think that Phil Stiles has really come into his own tonight in this ballgame in the first half.
You mentioned the rebounding. That certainly has been a factor. Northwestern is giving up a ton of rebounds to their opponents. They're the only team in the Big Ten averaging less than 30 rebounds a game. That is not good. But, boy, they've held their own this half.
Well, they've been working on rebounding. They've been working on scoring. And those are two things that showed marked improvement as far as this game is going tonight.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at some of the play of Don Polite and the quick hands that he brings to the game here.
Don Polite had a very good first half. And this is just typical of the many plays that he pulled in the first half. He goes for the basket and gets that ball in there, and it's just a beautiful play. And Don Polite is probably coming into his own. But you know, you got to think about Purdue. And you still got to think that Purdue is, you know, they may win this ball game.
Oh, very much.
They very much are in it. They were a little bit nervous, and I think they're a little bit down. Maybe they underrated Northwestern a little bit, but they still are very dangerous, and they're hanging right in there. And, you know, if you're a Northwestern fan, you got your fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see. Purdue can make up a 9-point deficit in a big, big hurry, and we'll see. We have second half action coming up, so stay tuned as we'll bring it to you here from Evanston. Bill Hazen back with Bill Frank here courtside in Evanston. And Bill, you alluded to the halftime statistics, and indeed here they are. And boy, what a shooting half. Purdue didn't shoot badly. My goodness, they knocked down 50% of their shots. That's a fine half.
Oh, you shoot 50%, you're doing a good job. So Northwestern is surprising everybody with the fact that they are shooting 59%. Northwestern, as I've said several times, they've really been working on their scoring, and for a while they were really pathetic. They were scoring like 47, 48 points, and Bill knew that he had a problem, knew he had to get the scoring going, and which is what he's done. But still, the most important figure right there is that three-point play.
That's been the difference. And Northwestern has been knocking them down, and it's been Stiles and Gross, really, and of course Morris with 2 home run balls also. And I've mentioned this before, and a lot of people forget that Sean Morris does have 3-point range. That guy can knock him down from anywhere within 25 feet of the basket.
You always expect Sean to be playing under the basket, you know, and it surprised me in watching Northwestern play this season. It surprised me lots of times to see him play so far out. Now you sort of get used to it. And he's one whale of a ball player, very versatile because he can play outside or inside, wherever you want him.
Well, if you're 6'10" and you have a shooting touch like that, even if you're not the greatest leaper in the world or maybe not the quickest guy, if you're as smart as Sean Morris, you do as many good things as Sean Morris does, he's going to get a good look from the NBA. I would think he would have to.
I'm sure that Gene Cady told this team at halftime, don't think you're playing the last place ball club in the Big Ten. You're playing a very dangerous Northwestern team. You guys are going to have to go out and really work at your game. This is an experienced, a physical Purdue team, a very good team, and we're going to see just how good they are right now.
Lewis gets the ball in the forecourt from his teammate Todd Mitchell. Same starting lineups as began the game for both teams. Pump fake, into the lane comes Mitchell. Traffic's pretty thick. Stevens cuts to the right and hits the jumper. That's a 2-pointer by Everett Stevens. Gives him 4, and certainly if he gets going, that's going to help Purdue quite a bit. He was held to 2 points in the first half. 33-26. Northwestern on top with the ball. Kukas looking for an entry. Polite reverses it to Gross. Covered by Stevens, man-to-man again by Purdue, and they have shown that almost all game.
I think he's probably decided to have Kukas play the start of the second half. Stay in there as long as you can and don't commit any fouls.
Stiles, that's a 3-pointer. Didn't get it. Long rebound comes out to Lewis. And the Boilermakers with a hoop to cut it to 5. Going for it. McCants, he gets it. McCants with 6. And that lead is 5 at 33-28. And Purdue has come out smoking here early in the second half. They've come roaring back.
It's a very important possession for Northwestern. They can't let Purdue get any kind of a run going.
Stiles to the baseline as Morris. This is a tough matchup for Purdue because McCants is pulled so far out. It makes it very difficult for Purdue. It's not an easy matchup for them. Gross.
They've been having trouble getting that ball underneath the basket, too. They've gotten some baskets under there, but not as many as they wanted.
Morris with a miss, tipped out of bounds, and Stiles hit it last, and the Boilermakers get the ball back and a chance to go to work on a 5-point deficit.
Here's the play once again. There's the basket attempt. There's the reach, and the ball goes out of bounds, and Purdue has it.
And the Purdue fans in attendance. We told you they had a good crowd here, and they're up and standing now. Mitchell. Stevens looking into the paint. Kip Jones. Chance for a 3-point play as Kukas fouled him, and Kukas has picked up his 4th. And that's trouble for Northwestern.
Well, that was smart play by Purdue. Gene Katie realizing that Kukas is playing a good game, and he's committing these fouls, so he had his players take Kukas each time underneath the basket, and that's hurt him.
Northwestern burns a timeout, 18:09 remaining. It's Northwestern 33 and Purdue 30. Well, the Chicago Blackhawks are back here on Sports Vision, and we hope you'll be joining them as they travel to Minnesota. They'll take on the Norris Division rival Minnesota North Stars. Live coverage 7:30 right here from the Met Center. Kip Jones to try to convert the three-point play, and he knocks it down, and that is really a benefit for Purdue. He's hit 3 straight foul shots without a miss. Guy who's shooting under 40% from the foul line. Morris in the forecourt. It's a 2-point game. 2 minutes old, and Purdue has wiped off a 7 points of a 9-point lead.
And Northwestern has not scored a field goal yet in the second half, and Purdue has 3 out of 3. That's the story right there.
Polite to Morris. Popping out is Kukas. They have Polite at the high post area. And now Bill Foster shouts some instructions quickly. Styles. Okay, had Kukas on the baseline. Kukas, they're leaving him in with 4 personal fouls here, Bill. Morris, contact on the baseline. McCants, I think, held him up. That is, again, a real tough matchup for Purdue because Morris is such a smart player.
Here comes Sean Morris along the baseline, goes up for the shot, looks over at the official, says, hey, he can't do this.
Inbounds pass, Gross. Fresh 45 seconds after the foul. Polite. Why, Purdue has really screwed down pulled it down their defense a notch, haven't they? Everything is coming hard. Polite at the high post. As Styles dove down toward the basket. Gross out front.
We're seeing the real Purdue team right now, Bill.
Northwestern very patient. They haven't turned it over here. Morris leans in. Didn't get it. It's tipped over the rim, and Kip Jones has the rebound. The Boilers can tie it with a basket. And here comes Purdue. Troy Lewis. And Purdue has a good crowd here, as you can see. Northwestern has failed to connect on any of its shots. Lewis going for it. That's a three-pointer. Purdue takes the lead. Troy Lewis has 5 points. That's a big basket. And Purdue with its first lead of the game. Polite. It hit the foot of McCants. No, they say Polite's foot. They say it hit Polite's foot.
All right, Don Polite went over there to the official and say, you know, what happened? Let's take a look at it now.
It did.
Well, I think the official had a pretty good view of it.
Bill Robinson was right there, and it did hit Polite's foot. Timeout. The Boilers lead it at 16:34 remaining by a point. Back here, and indeed, Bill, it is official. We do have a full house tonight.
8,117, and the Evanston fans, the Northwestern fans, love Indiana teams. The only other sellout was the Indiana game, and now the Purdue game. 2 Hoosier teams, 2 sellouts.
Purdue has a run of 10-0 going. They'll go for more. Northwestern has not scored 3.5 minutes. And Lewis with another home run ball out of the corner. He can shoot that as well as anybody in the conference, and he has 8. Lead is now up to 4, and that run is now 13-0. And that's been a big difference in the ball game here. Northwestern has gone very dry. Better hurry. They got rid of it in time. Schwabe has come in for Northwestern. Up front to Styles, to Polite. You see Brooks in the lineup for the first time for the Wildcats. Mark Brooks, a sophomore. Polite from the baseline. Oh, and buries one. He has 8.
Northwestern needed that because that run was getting too long. You can get out of a ball game when you have a run like that against you, but now Northwestern finally's broken the ice.
And Lewis shoots it again, tipped around. That time, Kip Jones kind of mistimed his jump. The ball hung up there. He had inside position, but the ball hung up on him. Ball stolen away. Stevens with a clean breakout, and he goes and slams it down. Stevens picks the pocket of Mark Brooks. Stevens with 6.
What Stevens likes to do. He's the best stealer around.
Well, it's now a run of 15-2 in favor of Purdue here. Polite has a score of 39-35. Brooks. Morris. Out front to Styles. Brooks to the baseline. Drives around Stevens and missed the layup. He had the layup, but there were so many tall arms in there. He was bothered a little bit. McCants with a hook. Look at him fight for the rebound, and they gave a foul to Morris.
Well, I don't know whether I agree with that one, Bill.
Yeah, that's the second team foul. Morris appeared to have inside position, and you see McCants really working on the boards here.
Take another look at it. Sean Morris, McCants really working. There they go up for the ball. They want to get that basketball, and we sort of were blocked as far as Sean Morris was concerned. Here's the steal by Stevens, and this, of course, is his specialty. Nice soft jam.
Oh, yeah, really jammed it. As we return live, Morris trying to dive for the ball as it was put in bounds, tipped over the sideline, out of bounds, and it'll be put in by Purdue from a tough spot. This is not an easy place to inbound the ball. Your avenues for where to pass it are rather limited from that dead corner. Well, here comes Purdue. Mitchell tosses it in deep. The deep release goes to Tony Jones. When you get down to the 7, 8, and 9 players, you're talking about good, really good players for Purdue. They have some talent coming off of the bench. McCants down low. Whistle. Was it on? Schwabe, I think. There's a good example of doubling the post. Schwabe dropped to the level of the ball immediately to try to bother McCants in the post area.
We're going to take another look at it here, right here. Gene Katie likes to substitute, Bill. He's got a lot of players on that bench. There's the foul right there.
And Schwabe with his second, team's third, and Gene Katie has seen his team go on a 15-2 run to take a lead in this game at 39-35. It'll be inbounded by Troy Lewis. Deep release to Tony Jones. Lewis, okay, just stepped in bounds. Nobody picked him up. Missed the shot. Schwabe down the floor. Schwabe and Polite. Schwabe all the way. Chance for a three-point play. That was a great look-off by Schwabe. He looked to Polite and then took it in himself.
Now watch it. Here Schwabe comes in. He keeps hesitating like he might pass it off. Goes for the basket. Look at that determination. And he gets 2 points. He has a chance for 3 points now as he gets a free throw. Here it is again. Schwabe really playing well. One of the nicest moves he's probably made in a long time.
Yeah, Schwabe took it to the hoop with authority, and I know that Northwestern fans are happy to see that because this is a young man who's just developing his game. Lewis comes out. Stevens comes back in after a slight breather. So Schwabe, who has his first 2, and knocks it down. He has 3. He has a great shooting touch, but the Northwestern coaches have been hoping he'll get more physical and more active.
The first couple of times he came into the game tonight in the first half, he didn't play well, but he's making up for it now.
Fans are getting revved up. Purdue continues to lead. Tony Jones, Gross is on him. From the baseline, a long jump shot knocked down by Mitchell. Boy, he can do it inside and outside.
Don Clyde was on him defensively just the way his Clyde should have been. He had his hand right up there in his face, and he still got the basket.
Here is Phil Stiles. Tony Jones is on him, popping out as Schwabe. He can shoot the ball from there. The big people at Northwestern do have good range. Gross in the corner. He was open for a moment. Didn't get it, and Mitchell, a tower of strength for the Boilers, who lead it by 3. Good penetrating pass, and it's converted by McCants on the pass from Stevens.
Talk about a physical team. There we saw Purdue as physical as any team could possibly be. It was just pure power on that play.
Well, the question was, could Northwestern hold off Purdue for another 20 minutes? And the answer seems to be that Purdue was going to have no part of it.
Well, Northwestern's got to get back into their game. They got to not make any mistakes, like when they get a shot like Brooks had, when he's wide open, it's got to drop through.
Yep, they've got to get their layups down. Polite to Jeff Gross. Also, Northwestern has not been hitting the three-point shots here early in the second half. We had a contact. Traveling is called. Traveling called on Sean Morris as he was bothered by the close defense of Purdue.
Well, it could be another costly turnover.
Good. Troy Lewis comes back in, and Kip Jones goes to the bench. So right now they're going with 3 guards. Stevens, Lewis, and Tony Jones. It's the turnover situation. Purdue flawless in 7 minutes. Northwestern has committed 3. Mitchell and McCants are the up-front players for Purdue to go with those 3 guards we just told you about. Here's Mitchell. Man-to-man defense by Northwestern. Lewis. Tony Jones didn't get it, and Morris strong on the board. Mitchell thought he was pushed out of there a little bit, and Northwestern came up with the ball, trailing by 5.
Oh, that physical play under there is not bothering Sean Morris at all. He's not backing off.
No, and that's right up his alley. He likes it when he's in tight quarters, has a chance to work hard. Morris turning around at the high post. Schwabe tried to drop it right back, and Mitchell very smartly picked it off. Todd Mitchell, with those quick hands, really read that play well. Saw it coming, just stuck his hands out there like a smart player does. Intercepted the pass.
Northwestern got back on defense very rapidly after that, though.
Lewis, right out front, a man's open, McCants converts it. McCants was just kind of standing behind the defense. And Purdue has built its lead up to 7. Their largest lead of the game. Jeff Gross. Versus Schwabe. Gross goes down on the baseline. Stiles out front. Polite. He's covered by Tony Jones. Jones is a very quick, hard-working defender. Polite. You see that Polite is not anxious to try to drive on him because Jones has very quick hands.
Well, Northwestern now has to start shooting because they can't let Purdue get away much farther than they are.
Polite right down the lane. Couldn't get it. Long tip out Lewis. And Northwestern is getting one shot, and that's all they're getting.
I think Northwestern's got a little bit tired, too.
Lewis right down the lane. Troy Lewis with 10. He took it coast to coast. And that lead is up to 9. Nobody picked him up, and that may be a sign of Northwestern being a little tired as the Wildcats have to burn their 3rd timeout. At 10:47 remaining in regulation, it's the Boilermakers now leading in the ball game by 9. Kitty has to be very pleased with the way his team has roared back. Oh, what a run, 23-5 here.
Purdue has scored 7-0 off of turnovers committed by Northwestern.
And it points in the paint, too. This certainly is important for Purdue. 12-2 in favor of the Boilers here in the second half. So they're getting the ball inside a little better than they were in the first half. 47-38, inbounds pass Polite. They better hurry, and a foul. Was there a foul? A push-off? Buford in the game for the first time. I just mentioned to you, Bill, we haven't seen Buford, and I was kind of surprised. And sure enough, he's in there now, and Everett Stevens fouled Buford. Stevens with his first, team's 3rd. Common foul out of bounds to the Wildcats, who now trail it by 9, and they're going to have to come back the hard way, having been outscored 23-5. Morris drops it off to Gross. The Wildcats have hit a dead zone, and Purdue has hit a lightning streak zone. They're really going well.
Gene Katie really gave them a talking to at halftime. They made some adjustments and said, hey, let's get out there and just play your game, play that physical game, and that's exactly what they've been doing. They've been playing a very hard physical game.
Approaching the halfway mark of the second half. Here's Buford. Closely guarded. Goes over to Gross, inside to Morris. Triple teamed. Overshot it. Ball was tipped out, and on the back foul there, called on Mitchell. He caught him right in the head, it looked like to me, Bill, with his elbow. It's his 3rd, team's 4th.
All right, here's the foul now that Mitchell picked up, his 3rd personal foul. Doesn't seem to be too happy. There's Sean Morris going up for the shot. And there's the foul over the back. Bo Kukas right under there. Bo Kukas playing with, what, 4 personal fouls,
Yes.
Bill?
That is correct.
And he's right under there.
They've gambled on that. Morris trying to blast it in for Buford, out of bounds. Northwestern fortunate to get that ball back. It hit a Purdue player.
It's the second time up court that Northwestern has tried a pass over there on that right side, and that something has happened to it.
Mitchell gets a breather. McCants comes back in, or excuse me, Scheffler, I think, in the lineup now. Buford goes right to the bench. He was in only for seconds. And Phil Stiles comes back in for Northwestern. Morris to Kukas. Looking for the entry. They're trying to work it into Morris. Boy, does he work hard in that post area. Polite was open, but Purdue was able to close it down. Stiles did a 360. Morris downstairs. Drops it in. Sean Morris with 8. Northwestern went a long time without a basket. They sat on 38 for a long time. Stevens with a bomb. Didn't get it. Rose chases it down. And Northwestern trailing by 7. Will try to close the gap. 9:37 remaining here in the second half. Bill Hazen and Bill Frank, hope you're enjoying the telecast tonight. Polite knocks it down.
Just as we say that Don Polite might be getting a little bit tired, he finds the range again.
Don Polite, last 2 games he scored 10 points each. He just reached 10 again. So now for the 3rd time, he has a career high. He's reached that tonight of 10. Scheffler, the hand back to Jones, Tony Jones. They're going to give him room out there. They're zoning Northwestern. Eddie Morris, the man out front. They've got some interesting matchups here in this. Well, it's a man-to-man, I guess. Man-to-man by Northwestern. Interesting kind of a look that they had. Stevens, as a player went down, and Stevens hits the jumper.
Phil Stiles is limping underneath the basket. Phil went down to the deck, and he's really limping right here in front of us. Let's take a look at it once again. Now there's Phil Stiles. Right after this, Phil falls down to the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Made some move right there.
Oh, yeah. He was favoring his ankle. You see the way he came down, just put a little bit too much pressure on that ankle.
And he's over on the bench now, and they're working with him. They got to have him in there.
May have twisted it. Buford is back in for Northwestern. Gross around the screen. Hit the back rim. Look at Kukas go up there. Wow! What a jump! That's the most explosive jump of the night. And Morris couldn't convert it. Man, Mitchell, you know, leaps right out of the building, but Kukas looked like he was on a...
Kukas went up into the rafters.
Oh, man, did he jump up there. I can't remember seeing him jump that high.
I've never seen Sean Morris work so hard for a basket.
Yeah. Scheffler, good power move inside for Purdue. He missed the shot. These teams are missing layups left and right. 49-42 Purdue. Exactly 8 minutes remaining to be played.
I want to tell you, the backboard play is really something in this ball game, Bill. Sean Morris has been doing, McCants has been doing. Well, you can learn a lot how to play center.
On the post, high post pass, and Jones stole it. It's a breakout for Stevens. Has Polite in front of him. Contact, foul, Polite. Now we'll see if this is in the act of shooting or not. Gene Cady wants goaltending, but I don't even know if this is a shooting foul, and I say that because we've had a couple of other calls in this area.
And Don Polite he comes awfully close to having position, but he comes in there, and they just couldn't stop Stevens. But look at that block by Kukas again. Getting up. Kukas is really he's on the trampoline right now.
Common foul. Purdue will put it in bounds. That foul occurred as he was making his drive, just before he went up in his shooting motion. Tony Jones for a breather comes out. Mitchell comes in. This is what Purdue can do to you. Their first 7 or 8 players are about the same in ability. Mitchell into the corner. Saved by Lewis. It was off of Schwabe's ankle or knee and out of bounds. And Lewis proud of himself for that. He used the old trick. Falling out of bounds, he bounced it off another player.
And also Schwabe stayed real close to him defensively.
Purdue will put it in bounds. Purdue has had a good test tonight. Even if they get out with a victory, well, they've gotten a good workout.
Well, I tell you, Northwestern is last in the Big Ten, but this has got to be one of the better last-place teams in the country.
I don't think there's any question about that, and they've come a long way just this year. Lewis didn't get it. Long tip out, and Stiles didn't control it. Lewis again, and this time he puts it in.
That was a great play by Troy Lewis. He just stayed right with it. No disappointment. He just stayed right with it, did his work, and got 2 points.
You give Troy Lewis 2 chances, and he'll burn you just about every time. 51-42 Purdue. 9-point lead. Kukas tried to lean in, goes over McCants, off the glass too hard. Schwabe tried for the tip, but Scheffler screened him away for Purdue. And here comes the Boilers into the forecourt. Stevens. Oh, and Polite was right on him. Down low, Mitchell with a fadeaway, and it's there. Todd Mitchell with 14. And Purdue has all the gears meshing now. They have turned what was a 9-point deficit at halftime into an 11-point lead. It's a 20-point swing.
Been an entirely different ball club here in the second half from the first half. Here in the second half, we're seeing all the reasons why Purdue is #1 in the Big Ten.
Blocking foul, Scheffler trying to stop Schwabe. And for big Steve Scheffler, that will be his 3rd.
Here's the foul right here. Schwabe with the ball, and there's Scheffler right with it.
That's the 15th foul called on Purdue, and Scheffler, I think, will be headed to the bench. Kip Jones will come back in. Now, Kip Jones has only one personal foul, so Purdue with a chance to utilize the depth that they have.
Both of these basketball teams are giving the sold-out audience here tonight really their money's worth. We have a lot of players out here going to be sleeping all day tomorrow, the rest up from this one.
Gross with a miss. It was tipped out of bounds, and Northwestern gets the ball back with a lot of hustle as they blocked the outlet pass, and it appeared to hit Kip Jones as it was reflecting out of bounds.
The big thing about Northwestern is they haven't scored here in the second half like Coach Bill Foster wishes that they would. They just haven't gotten enough. It boils down to a very simple formula. They haven't got enough baskets. Their scoring has tailed way off.
Well, Purdue is largely responsible for that. They have tightened up their defense, and of course, Northwestern has been playing pretty good defense all the way through. It's been a very physical second half.
It's been a very physical game. That's why there are a lot of tired people out there.
Schwabe knocks down a 15-footer. We told you he has the range to do that. He has 5. Everett Stevens. And he has great range. They're talking about him as a possible professional prospect. Mitchell, a long one. Overshot it. Polite gets the rebound. And the Wildcats come back, trailing by 9. Jeff Gross down low. Schwabe going right to work. Overshot it. And Mitchell gets the rebound. They had a good shot there.
Certainly did, and he just overshot the basket. Put too much effort into it.
Northwestern got it right down on the post. That's right where you want the ball to go. They got the shot they wanted, and Schwabe just didn't get it there.
But they're always alert to that Purdue physical defense.
Three-pointer as Everett Stevens responds. He is in double figures now with 11. And by the way, speaking of some streaks, we'll fill you on one involving Troy Lewis. When he hit that first three-pointer, that increased his three-point streak to 42 games, in which he has hit at least one three-point basket. Downstairs, Schwabe, and they're going right to work on Schwabe's man, Kip Jones. They're trying to get it inside. Polite, his shot was blocked. Stevens at 6'2" blocked it. It's a breakout for Jones, driving and scoring.
And there is vintage Purdue basketball. The steal, the fast break, the basket.
Everett Stevens showed what a great, great athlete he is. Leads the team in block shots at 6'2", and you see how he does it. We'll pause. It's the Boilermakers now on top and in command by 14. And the ball will be tossed in by the Northwestern Wildcats against full court pressure. Now Purdue can try to slap that pressure on as we go, and into the forecourt comes Schwabe and over to Stiles. Jeff Gross, Polite, Stiles, man-to-man pressure. Gross coming off the screen from Polite and knocks down the jumper. That's Gross's first field goal of the second half, Bill.
Right, and if he can get a little bit hot here with those three-pointers, which he is capable of doing, why, he could cause Purdue a little bit of trouble here.
Mitchell, backdoor cut, beautiful cut underneath, and a foul. Lewis got in there deep. And the foul was called. And Lewis will head to the foul line. Their guards, Everett Stevens, you have a great athlete, Lewis a great athlete. You can run the baseline a little bit with them. And the foul was picked up by Don Polite. That is his second. So Lewis will go to the foul line. And Troy, he played in the Wigwam. You know that building in Anderson, Indiana. Bill, you're a Hoosier. You know what that's all about.
Well, I know about the Wigwam. I also know about the tree that grows out of the courthouse roof in Greensburg. But you didn't know about that one.
No, I did not. I've heard stories about the Wigwam, but which is one of the largest buildings for high school ball in the state.
Well, they love their basketball in Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big event on Friday night.
And I'll tell you what, it's tournament time down there, as it is here in the state of Illinois. We have some outstanding tournament basketball coming up, and we hope that our viewers will attend some of the area games involving their favorite high schools. Support them. 60-46. 14-point lead. Gross in the paint. Hit the back rim. Look at Northwestern fighting for the rebound, but Scheffler claims it for Purdue. Well, you can't say Northwestern didn't crash the boards there. They sent everybody in there in waves.
Well, it's just sort of interesting to sit back and watch this Purdue team play because, you know, we've been looking for this team. They are powerful, good. They were touted as #1 in the country before the season started, and they are a good basketball team.
That's a two-pointer by Stevens. He had 1 foot just inside the line. Stevens with 13.
They can kill you so many ways.
Oh, yeah. He's not the big scorer on this team, but he does a lot of things very well, including blocking shots. Morris, Polite out of the corner. Didn't get it. Morris went down, and Tony Jones came out of there with it. And, boy, the traffic is getting pretty heavy. It's like rush hour in the Dan Ryan.
Physical game. Physical. The big P, the physical game. That's what these two teams are playing. And it's been a long time since I've seen two teams play so physical.
Mitchell, and there was a foul called in there. I think Polite. Ooh, if that's the case, he was rather impolite on that drive. Yeah, Polite got it.
You had to say that during one
sure
game,
did.
right? All right, here it is again.
Oh, it's Gross.
Purdue just driving for that bucket all the time, and I think Gross that got the arm in there?
I guess it wasn't so impolite after all, was it?
Jeff Gross. Well, that was a gross thing for him to do.
It sure was. I'm glad you finished that off. I don't want to be responsible for all of these. 2:59 left as Mitchell will shoot a pair. First time he's been there tonight, and he fails to convert the first one. He's a good foul shooter at 73.5.
I like this Todd Mitchell. You know, 6'7" senior from Toledo. He just plays basketball, that's all. He's always right there.
Katie says, interesting thing, Gene Katie says about him, he calls him the best 2-foot jumper in America, and I believe it. And he's a quick jumper. He's just so quick loading and jumping. That's why they've been able to backdoor him so much. Morris. Pass out was stolen by Tony Jones. It's a 2-on-2. Jones and Stevens, and Jones takes it all away. Tony Jones. And Purdue has those guardrails humming, leading it by 19. They've broken the game open.
He just took Jeff Gross with him, and Gross just couldn't do anything but fall to the floor.
All off the front rim, and Stevens claims it. And now the Boilermakers, who will hold on to the top spot in the Big Ten, are showing what they're all about.
You got to give Gene Katie a lot of credit because this team came in here tonight not really thinking about this game. And Northwestern threw a lot of basketball at them in the first half. They adjusted. They came to life. He said, hey, the Wildcats are a good basketball team. You guys are going to have to go out and play basketball. And that's what they've done here in the second half. They've given us quite a show here in the second half.
They have held Northwestern to just 11 points. Morris is third personal foul, and that puts the bonus light on at 1:54 remaining, so there will be shots here. And substitutions for Purdue coming in for the first time. Bill Reed off the bench. He wears number 5. He is from Rock Island. His father, Duncan Reed, is the high school coach there at Rock Island, Illinois High School. And also coming in is John Brugos, 6'9", 215 from Crown Point, Indiana. Big, strong young man.
They told me that this John Brugos, his studies at Purdue are biological science and creative arts. and he is even ahead of his schedule. So he spends a lot of time hitting the books.
Tall and talented. Tony Jones got it. Good roll on that one. And so Tony Jones has 3. He averages more than that. Averages about a little over 5. Troy Lewis is going to come out now, and some of the backup players for Purdue coming in. 22 is Dave Barrett. He's a freshman who will figure prominently in the Purdue plans in the future. Jones knocks them both in. He has 4. More substitutes. Scheffler coming back in. Reed now coming in. I guess they had to hold him out until after the free throws were made because the shooter was replaced. So those tri-captains are all out of the ball game now. No, I'm sorry. Stevens is still in there. I take that back. Stevens still in the lineup. Buford. Wow, what great senior leadership they have. Buford on the drive. Let's see if they count it. Let's see if they count the basket here. That was a tremendous drive. Yes, indeed.
All right, here it is again. It's Terry Buford, who hasn't played too much tonight. Played a little bit here in the second half. Drives for the bucket, gets it in there.
And we'll have a standing ovation for Everett Stevens here in front of the home crowd in Evanston. This is a night I know that he'll remember for a long time. Stevens will check out with 13 points on the night and a couple of block shots and a load of assists. Buford converts the three-point play.
I think Stevens was responsible for about 2,000 or 3,000 of these tickets being sold tonight. A very popular player.
He had a lot of relatives, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Here's Reed.
Probably all play basketball, too.
They triple team Reed. He throws over it. Yeah. Out front, Reed gets the ball back. Into the paint he comes. Dropped it off. Scheffler converts it. So Reed hits Scheffler with a pass, and Scheffler has 4 points. Each team will take something away from this game here tonight. Northwestern played a good, solid 20 minutes. Schwabe missed it. And Purdue showed their ability to come back, and it has to be a confidence builder for them.
Well, Purdue has won 6 in a row. With this game, they've won 7 in a row in the Big Ten. They've only lost 1 game in the Big Ten. Realize that most of these players have only lost about, let's see, they've lost 4 games in the last 2 years in Big Ten play.
Yeah.
They shared the conference last year with 3 losses.
Well, we're going to see some substitutes for Northwestern now. Stiles got the personal foul. Phil Stiles. This is his second. And with a bonus on, there will be a 1-on-1 situation. Good hand. Sean Morris comes out of the ball game. Now we'll see Don Bratz is in. And Milan Petrovic, of course, who comes out of, Northern Indiana. So for him, it's a great moment. Barrett
Point, Indiana.
Yeah. Barrett missed the 1-on-1. 3 of 6 on the year now is Dave. 45 seconds remaining. Brian Ross also in the lineup. Kicks it over. Driving the baseline. Whistle. Offensive foul called on Bratz.
We've got 2 basketball players out there on the court from Crown Point, Indiana, Bill. 1 on each side. Speaks well for the Crown Point basketball program.
It really does. That's outstanding. Full court pressure inbounds. Petrovic trying to close down. Pass up the middle to get it across. Here's Barrett. Ball be kicked out front. And having to go to recover it is Marvin Ray. He's a walk-on who's seeing his first action here tonight. Pretty quick little guard, this Marvin Ray. He's from Gary Roosevelt. And he won the famed Trester Award in Indiana a year ago. And we all know how special of an award that is associated with Indiana high school basketball. Bad pass out of bounds as Reed tried to bounce it in for Scheffler, and Scheffler was cutting to the basket. Out of bounds with 12 seconds left. So Northwestern will have 1 more shot at it. Petrovic to Bratz. Brian Ross, 5 seconds. And Ross knocks it down. Brian Ross, 2 seconds. That's it. The ball game is over. And Purdue picks up another victory, but not without some effort tonight. They had to work very, very hard to get it. As the powerful Purdue Boilermakers will post a 69-51 victory. The key to the ball game, Bill, being that tremendous run early in the second half, 13-0, and certainly big key.
And they held Northwestern after scoring 33 points in the first half to the 33-24 at the halftime. They held Northwestern on 18 points in the second half. Big drop-off there. You can't win those kind of games.
No, you can't ask for any better defense than that either. Purdue 69 and Northwestern 51, and Bill and I will be coming back for the wrap-up in just a moment. Reigns of alma mater here in Evanston as the Purdue Boilermakers pick up a victory and improve their record to 24-2 on the season. And boy, it's been a dynamic year for Purdue. They are really having it all meshed together. They were very good last year, of course, when they won the Big Ten title, Bill, and this year they have it outright, and they just look dynamic. What can you say about them? They did everything right.
Actually, we saw 2 Purdue teams here tonight. We saw 2 different Northwestern teams here tonight. We saw a very good Northwestern team that really scrapped in the first half, and a Purdue team that maybe came in a little bit overconfident, but they really came around in the second half, and the Boilermakers really played the kind of basketball that a number 1 team in the Big Ten should play. And Northwestern, should not have their heads down. They scrambled. They were undermanned. They scrambled right down to the end. A good ball game for Northwestern, but Purdue is just simply too great.
Oh, they're outstanding. You can see why they're the best that the Big Ten has and why they're the number 2 rated team in the country. And it's the balanced scoring of Purdue that certainly helped them here this evening. The balance did not hurt them a bit and helped them to a second half effort in which they scored 45-18 against Northwestern. Now, the leading scorers for Purdue included Mitchell with 15, Troy Lewis with 14, and there were a number of players beyond that. Guys like Everett Stevens finished the night with 13, and then Kip Jones in single digits with 9. Northwestern was paced by Polite and Stiles with 10. Stiles had all 10 of his points in the first half, and it really was, as you say, Bill, a tale of two halves, because Northwestern was shooting the ball very well three-point-wise in the first half, and in the second half, I don't remember them knocking down maybe more than one, maybe none.
Yeah, it was really such a turnabout that it was almost a spectacular turnabout on the part of the Boilermakers. Troy Lewis double figures. I believe I'm correct in saying that Troy Lewis has never played a game of basketball at Purdue where he wasn't in the double figures. He's really amazing.
He is a great athlete and a great scorer. He's one of those players, not only who shoots well, but he is a scoring kind of player. He has that mentality. Right. He's looking to shoot the ball and score.
They sort of held him down in the three-point plays, but he made a couple tonight that really hurt.
Did a great job. Bill, thank you. As always, a pleasure to work with you.
It's a pleasure to work with you again. A great game.
You bet. We couldn't ask for better. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be coming right back here to Evanston in a moment.